What I want to do in this video is just go through a typical A-level binomial distribution question. I've got a question here, but before we read the question through, you're always looking for three different things. You're looking for the value of n, which is the number of trials. You're looking for p, the probability of success, and then you're looking for the number that you're interested in the question. So if we look at the question, a company manufactures screws which are sent out to customers in lots of 10,000. The manufacturer operates a sampling scheme whereby a random sample of 10 is taken from each lot ready for dispatch, and they are released only if the number of defective screws in the sample is less than 3. Otherwise, the whole lot of 10,000 is rejected and reprocessed. Part A of the question: if 10% of all the screws produced are known to be defective, find the proportion of lots that will be rejected. So first of all, the number of trials is how many things are you going to look at? Well, we're not looking at all 10,000 screws, we're looking at a random sample of 10. So in this question, n is going to be 10. P, the probability we're interested in here, is 10%. There's a decimal, that will be 0.1, and that is the probability of being defective. Even though we refer sometimes to P as being the probability of success, success can be thought of as something that's defective. That's okay. Now if you're writing this down in an A-level exam, the first thing I would want anybody to do is to put down the capital letter they're going to use for the question. X is going to be our random variable, and say what it is, what it's standing for. And here X is going to be the number of defective screws. And we believe in this question that X follows the binomial distribution. Then in this bracket we put the value of n and the value of p. And what are we interested in part A? We want to know the proportion that will be rejected. Well, the rejection criteria isn't actually stated here. What's stated here is the acceptance criteria. They're only accepted if the number of defectives is less than 3. So if we work out first of all the probability of having less than 3 defective, that will give us the proportion that will be accepted by the company, and then we can work out then the proportion that will be rejected. So first of all then, the probability X is less than 3, sorry, I shouldn't have had an extra bar there, it's strictly less than 3, not less than or equal to. Less than 3 will give us the probability that it is accepted. So we'll do this probability first, and then we'll look at the rejected bit later on. So if I want the probability X is less than 3, well, what values could it take? I could have no defectives, I could have 1 defective, I could have 2 defectives, I couldn't have 3 defectives. 3 isn't less than 3. So to be those 3 probabilities added up will give me the probability that the batch will be accepted. Now the formula for binomial probabilities, the way we've written it down, is using R for the number that we're going to put in here, is n choose R, p to the R, 1 minus p to the n minus R. So when X is 0, I'm going to have n choose 0, p to the 0, 1 minus p to the n minus 0, which would be 10 minus 0, which is 10. So that calculation goes with the X is 0 probability. When X is 1, I'm going to have 10 choose 1, 0.1 to the power of 1, 1 minus 0.1 to the power of 10 minus 1. So that calculation ties up with the X equals 1 probability. Then over here, when X is 2, it'll be 10 choose 2, p to the 2, 1 minus p to the 10 minus 2. And if I add those 3 together, I will get the probability X is less than 3. So now it's a case of going to your calculators and working out what these are. If you type them into your calculators, the first one should be 0.349, the second one should be 0.387, the final one should be 0.194. And if you add those up, you will get the probability that you accept the batch, and if you add those up, you get 0.93. So there's a 93% chance that the batch will be accepted. If we go back to the question was asking for the proportion of lots that will be rejected. Well, that's the other 7%. If that's 0.93, then the probability of rejecting the batch will be 1 minus the 0.93, which is 0.07, which is 7%. So the answer to that first question, the proportion that will be rejected, is 7%. I'm going to continue this question in a separate video.